Hello everybody, today I'm going to be showing you a Blender tutorial and basic commands video. Basically, if you're starting off on Blender and you have no idea what you're doing, this is what this video is for. So to start, we're going to assume you've already downloaded Blender to its newest edition. For me, as of this recording, is Blender 4.3. What you're going to do is you're going to start up Blender and you will be greeted with several options to start. For now, we're just going to ignore all these options, go directly to General, and click General. As you can see, you start off with a cube. You click it, you can drag it, and nothing happens. So what you're going to do is hit G. And an easy way to remember this is hitting G to grab. So G, grab, that's how you move it. In the top left, you have different settings like object mode, edit mode, sculpt mode, and I'll teach you what these top 3 ones do. So to start off, you have a cube, right? You have your light, you have your camera. Right now, don't worry about these 2 other objects. The light and camera are just for taking photos, or if you want to render it, give it some light, as I'll demonstrate. See, now you see light. But we're not going to worry about that. Right now, we're just going to worry about the bare bones basics. So as I said before, most of the Blender shortcuts, which is the hardest part as an entry-level person trying to learn Blender, are the shortcuts. So to start, in object mode, you select your object. And our object that we're going to start with is a cube. You hit G on the keyboard, and that will help you move it. Another command that you can do is S for scale. Like I said, most of these are going to make sense. S. And as you can see, if you move it back and forth, it'll scale. But another thing that you can do, and this goes for most of these commands, is if I go back to G and I hit Z for Z axis, which is up and down, you can see that it's stuck on the Z axis. If I move left and right, it won't move left and right. If I go up and down, it'll go up and down. And I'll right click to reset it. So I'll hit G again, and then X for X axis. And then you can see it goes forward and back. And if you're ever confused on which axis you want to go on, in the top right here, it shows you the direction of the axis. The negative axis, the positive axis, XI, axes, however you say it. So I'm going to hit G and then Y for the Y axis. So demonstrating the stretch, or scale rather, I'm going to select my box, hit S, and then Z. As you can see, it scales in the Z axis. S, then X, scales there. And then S and Y, it scales there as well. So now that we know how to grab and scale, what are we going to do with this information? Well, to start, we could just try by just changing the way the object is. Other than, uniformly, we can change vertices. Now, what is a vertice? Here in the top left, you could also hit Tab to switch into this mode. It will switch you into edit mode. Now, edit mode gives you a bit more in-depth way of editing your shape. So right now I am in vertice mode. As you can see, there's little dots on each corner. Those are vertices. If I click over here, I can grab and move. If I hit S, it doesn't do anything because it's only a single point. But if I select 2 points, it'll let me scale it. Over here is where you can see what mode you're on in edit mode. You have vertice mode. This is edge mode. As you can see, I can select an edge, hit G, and it moves around. And then there's face mode, and it selects faces. And I can scale these as well. So those are pretty much the bare bones basics. Now, what are we going to do with this? Well, in edit mode, there's a lot you can do. For starters, there's all these different tools on the left-hand side, and it can get overwhelming pretty easily, but don't let that scare you. right now we're just messing around with all the options to see what they do. So let's say I want to make this cube into a very ugly, awkward shape. You can definitely do that. Let me hit G, Z, and then it goes perfectly scaled. As you can see, our shape is like an alien structure at this point. Now let's say I don't like all these changes that I've done. On the keyboard, you can hit Control Z, and that will undo what you did. So I keep hitting Control Z, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I keep hitting that until I get my original cube back. Now, anytime you make a mistake, Control Z is going to be your best friend. I use Control. There's not a single time I edit when I don't use Control Z. So far, the commands that you want to know are G to grab, S to scale, and Control Z to undo. Next, we're going to do one more command, and this is the extrude command. On the left-hand side, you can see extrude, and it's the green box followed by the regular box below it. You can either click this or hit E on the keyboard. So let me go back to normal cursor mode. This is your cursor. If I hit E, if I select a face and hit E, it'll go into extrude mode. And what that does is it extrudes the region. Let me go over here, hit E, and go up. Over here, hit E. As you can see, it's extruding the face. Now, if I hit Z, it'll go on the Z axis, X, and then Y. Like every other command before, as when you're selecting the object and using the tool, if you hit Z, X, or Y, it'll slap to that, connect rather, not slap, to that object. And now I have like this L-shaped box. A good exercise to do is to find a object or a picture and try to copy it. So my challenge to you is with these basic, very basic things, try to make a cool structure with all of these different commands that you now know. Like, try to make something cool. Maybe I want to make something that looks like a star. So I'll just stretch out all these vertices. Or maybe just make it look like an alien structure. You know, just right now, mess with it. You're not trying to be something, you're not trying to do anything really fancy. You're not trying to, you know, become a master blender artist overnight. Although I'm not saying that can't happen. For now, you just want to learn the basics. Yeah, I think that's good for now. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. Please give me a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments. Thank you.